Hello, everyone. I am bringing you a special treat today. This is the beautiful Julie. And what I love about this healing community and social media is even though there's a lot of negative on social media, a lot of insanity, sometimes you meet the most amazing people. And this beautiful lady is one of them that I actually met over Instagram. And just her story and her faith and what she presents forward was just so amazing to me that I asked her if I could just do an interview with her to share her with everyone. So please follow her. She's got some amazing information, posts really great things. This is the beautiful Julie and her wonderful dog. What is his name or her?
This is Chula.
Oh,
Got a
Chula.
couple more here that might show up, but
Oh, no
Chula's
worries. I have dogs and I love them. So anyway, I wanted everybody to meet her. So Julie, tell me a little bit about who you are and your background.
okay. So I am originally from Minnesota, Minneapolis area, and I'm now living in Mexico. We're halfway between Playa del Carmen and Tulum. We're in the jungle area, but we're just 5 minutes from the ocean. I know from your book that you love the ocean. So we
Yes.
can get there in 5 minutes. Also, we're near the cenotes that are like the little freshwater swimming holes that are really something special to this area. Very full of
Wow.
minerals and very healing as well. So I'm a medically retired airline pilot, and first of all, most importantly, mother, grandmother. That's to me the most important.
Yes.
And I had to medically retire from flying. Like I think it's been 11 years now, not from cancer, but from other issues. Started with Lyme disease, actually.
Wow.
Um, also,
Now,
I'm a
go ahead.
missionary, missionary
Wow.
pastor. So I don't run a church, but I do pastoral counseling, biblical counseling. And while I was when I first went out of work from flying, when I was no longer able to fly anymore, I started studying natural healing because through the journey of Lyme disease, which I'm sure a lot of the listeners have gone through that as well, finding out that the traditional medical community couldn't help me. So I started studying while I was bedridden. I started studying nutrition, herbalism, and natural healing. So that's where it kind of fell into that, and had made the decision then that if I ever had a cancer diagnosis, that I would be doing natural. I wanted to make that decision before I ever had to make the decision. So
Right.
that's why books like yours are so important, because I believe um, was it the China study or something I had read, and while I was healing from Lyme and realizing there were other ways to do it, I made that decision, a conscious decision. And when I met my husband, I said, I want you to know my way of healing. So I don't ever want you to be disturbed if I ever make choices like this. Never thinking I would have to, because I've been eating really healthy like you, making the
Yes.
choices, but it happened. Um,
Now, what is your diagnosis? Because, and I know people say this a lot because they would say that to me after I was healing. You don't look
mhm.
like you have cancer. You look great and you look stunning. So, what is your diagnosis and how are you?
Well, it's you're right, and because this is what cancer looks like when you treat naturally. Usually, I mean, I'm just I have what people are telling me is the good kind. I have thyroid cancer, and it's stage 1. So I caught it early, thankfully, and I it's been a little over a year. I mean, 2 years ago they spotted it on just a spinal study. I have most of my issues are with my spinal cord, brain, and seizures, different issues like that.
Okay.
And they said, well, let's watch it. So we were watching it. I wasn't thinking a lot of it. My mother did come to stay with me, and I was with her last days, and she did have liver cancer. So I was neglectful of myself. Should have been getting on the iodine, should have just actively started doing some more things, but I didn't. I just kind of ignored it.
Yeah.
And then I did after she passed away. I started having night sweats and fevers and extreme fatigue. So finally, my husband said, time to go in and get ultrasounds, which is something that I wanted to tell people here in Mexico. It's really quite easy to go get an ultrasound without, month of waiting or prescription. We can actually go without prescription and pay a small amount just to get an ultrasound. So I went to do that. We did find I had goiter and I had several nodules. So I did get a biopsy, which that's a whole nother story. We won't get into it. I kind of regret that I did that, but I did get that and confirm the stage 1
Yeah.
thyroid cancer. So they suggested removing the entire thyroid and having chemo, to which I said, thank you very much. I need some time to think. And then I decided to go on my own. Most of my family wanted it immediately removed. And I'm sure, as
Right.
you know, many people, you don't need your thyroid, get rid of that. You
Right.
can easily take medication, which for some people, it's the right choice. I mean, more than anything, and from reading your book, I know we believe the same. I mean, it's really between you and God, and everyone's
Yeah.
going to make different choices. And I didn't have peace with having surgery. And
Okay.
I asked my husband, and my children, give me 6 months, just let me try. Let me just see what I can do. I did get rid of the goiter right away. I needed iodine and some nutrition. I then found you on social media and also Jessiel. So I showed them, hey, look, don't worry. Look at people who are in much worse shape than me. And look, they're doing
Yeah.
great. That was such a blessing because that calmed them. And I then was able to get rid of the goiter right away, naturally. And then in 7 months, I did an ultrasound and it was no growth and no spreading, which
Wow.
they
Yay.
said to me, well, you failed, so go take it out. And I said, that's not a failure. Actually, in Western medicine, that's considered partial remission.
Yes.
So I'm just past a year now. I can feel it, so I know, and it is smaller. And I'm about to get another ultrasound to check it. I'm not in such a hurry as my family is because I know it's not completely gone, but I feel good and
Yes.
I am confident. I sometimes hear the stories of others, and it's like 3 months, 6 months, and they're healed. But maybe I just going to be one of those to inspire the people that take longer.
Yes,
But
and I
I'm
tell people that all the
confident.
time. Our bodies are so different. We all heal differently, everything. Our stress levels, there's so many different factors that go into our healing that you
Right.
can't base it on somebody else. People ask me all the time, how long did it take you to start feeling better? And I tell them you can't gauge that because everyone is different. And you have to understand it took years for our bodies to fall apart. It's going to take
Exactly.
time and consistency for it to heal. So yes, thank you for sharing that. But what caused you to move to Mexico?
Well, that gets to be a really long story. You probably don't want me to get into depth, but I originally moved down here because of my other health reasons. So I got to the point where I couldn't fly anymore. I had had a Lyme disease, which and then through the healing of that, which I did heal from Lyme disease naturally. I had a car accident and I had a spinal cord injury, and then I have my brain is sagging down. I have seizures. I have
Oh,
more. That's why it's not a health thing, it's like as healthy as I can be. It makes a huge difference because I don't have inflammation and things like that. But I have functional problems. There's problems with the nerves and things like that. So I can't drive, I can fly, and I lived in Minnesota. Not a good place to be when you have issues like that and the cold weather. So as soon as our kids were all off on their own, we decided that this would be a more comfortable place, a cheaper place to live, and it was. It's a lot easier to live here, having a year-round tropical garden.
oh.
I can be a homebody and not worry if I leave. I'm quite content here out in the jungle, and
So how long have
so
you been there?
We've been here 8 years now.
Oh, wow. So enough to know if you like it or not. Good.
Yeah, we love it. We lived in the city at first, and then I outgrew my little garden, and I said, let's get out in the country, and we discovered the jungle. We were all about the ocean, but then we discovered the jungle, and it reminded us of northern Minnesota, and I wanted to expand my tropical garden and get more animals, and so we came out to the jungle, and then we decided that this has been so beneficial for my health, and we just wanted to share it. So we built a little retreat right next to our home, and that's what we're doing now. I have a young, beautiful couple that are like my kids that are managing it, and we have 4 little places for people to come stay and enjoy it as well.
Oh, wow. So now I know that there you don't do any kind of medical treatment or give any medical advice. It's more to come for self-healing and just to relax and de-stress. So if someone were to come and visit, what can they expect?
Well, we just opened in January. So we do a couple different things here. We do have some people that just come and rest, like anybody can come for any reason. Some people come. We also do work with a local community that the impoverished community. So we have some people that come to like to do that. They do some just resting in some of the community. And our proceeds go back into the community in India and here. So
Okay.
that's something pretty cool too. This is our way of funding the mission work that we do. But if someone were to come, what's kind of developed because of getting the diagnosis is that this opened up. God opened this door, and so we see sometimes we just don't understand, like, of all the medical things that I've been through and reading your book and hearing your stories in the hospital, I wasn't there for cancer, but it was like, wow, the flashbacks of all of that. And then
Yes.
to end up with cancer. And actually, you're the one that told me to encourage me to go ahead and tell people. I have not told hardly anybody that I have cancer. And it's been over a year because they have seen me have so many problems, and it's just like one more thing. And I only told people that I knew would pray, and mostly my family and close friends. And I was going to wait till I was healed to give my testimony. And I think you told me pray about that because maybe there's people that need to hear it sooner. So this is kind of my coming out of the cancer class.
Good.
um, sharing just sharing the story as we go, because I am
Yes.
confident that I'm healing and will be healed. And it's true. I do want people to hear as soon as possible that this can be the treatment doesn't have to be miserable.
Yes, exactly. Especially with me when I was going through the Cancer Institute, as you read in my book, and you would see those people and they just look like me. I mean, about to turn the knob on death's door. So for
Yeah.
me, yes, I wanted you to share your healing journey because I wanted
Yeah.
people to go on this journey with you and then to come
Right.
at the end of this victory with you because you look amazing and healing should look like this when
Yes.
using God's medicine and doing the right things for your body. Because
Right.
unfortunately, chemo and radiation, it just destroys our bodies. And I watch it do it to me and to so many other people. And even in, like I said in my book, this is not how God intended us to heal. This just can't be.
Right.
So I understand too that if I were to come and visit or anybody visit, that you make us a soursop tea because you have
Right.
soursop trees
Yeah, I
everywhere.
got sidetracked. So our big
Oh,
thing that
you're
we do
good.
here, because we have the four different little cottages. One's a tree house, and one's like a 2-story hive theme, like a beehive, and it's super cute here. And then they're all kind of surrounding a fire pit, and we have a pizza oven, and then there's a common area where people can dine together or play games. We really like art therapy, so we do painting, and we going to incorporate more of that. Um, it's a great place for groups to come, but individuals can come too. It's just kind of God's kind of unraveling it, what it's about. And so now that I've experienced the being sick, and fortunately I have a great support system here, but I know not everybody does. And this would be a place somebody could come alone if they're sick. We can pick you up at the airport. We don't do treatments, but you know, God is the treat is the doctor, and we can do. I can make the soursop or the guanabana tea. I have the trees right here. The diet is huge, as you know. Diet is huge. I can help with my nutrition therapy certificate. I can help you get off sugar, get onto a diet plan, and help you to go home with some idea of what you need to eat. Because the doctors are not, they're not trained in that, and you can't go to them expecting them to help you with your diet. That's not their job, and that's not what
Right.
they're specialized in. And I think that is one of the most important things is the diet.
Yes,
Um,
I'm so glad you said that because it hit so hard when you said that we can't go to the doctors expecting them to help with our diet
no,
because they're not trained in nutrition. They're trained
no,
in this is your symptom, this is the medication, this is what's going on, this is the surgery. There is no nutritional thing. So for us to depend on that, because honestly, I was troubled by that. Like, why aren't you asking me about my diet or what I eat or what my stress levels are? You're right. It is not their job. That's why
right.
it's so important for us to advocate for ourselves. So what you're doing is just amazing because it's really the root of it is what we eat. Like Hippocrates said, let our food be our medicine be our food. It starts there.
Right. And in most of the protocol that you're doing, which I'm doing almost exactly the same, it is food. It's not
Yeah.
even treatment. It's just food is the medicine. And I used to do in the past, I was big into supplements and stuff, but as much as possible, I prefer to get it from food. I
Amen.
buy powders of things and put them in the smoothie. I don't like to take pills. I took so many capsules or even vitamins. I prefer to get it from the food.
Yes.
So what I would love to do, ideally we can do it with a group, but we can do individuals, is bring people here to even do like a juice fasting. Because there's some delicate matters with that to not get too many oxalates and to ease into it. There's some
Right.
knowledge involved there. And to do it with a group would be ideal. So you're not smelling food and we do it together and then, do some artwork together and hang around. We can take you to the
Right.
beach. I have a masseuse that comes here who's amazing, which is really important for lymphatic drainage. I have a vibration platform. We can walk around in the neighborhood out here. And that's our idea. Also in town nearby, we can take you to do a colon cleansing. We have a lot of great natural doctors. I can bring my lab. My lab tech comes right out here to the jungle and does my lab work, and I have it in the afternoon usually. Affordable. We don't need prescriptions for that here. And
Well,
ultrasounds also, we can take you to the doctor there just to get ultrasound and kind of avoid I know it's so difficult to get that and just see what's going on. And he tells you what's happening right then. It's the doctor, not a tech, and he will explain it to you and show you while he's taking the scan. And if you're
oh,
alone, I can go along with you. That's been a blessing because the reason that I have this is from scans, actually from CT.
hmm,
Um, I had a lot with my neck problems and all my surgeries, and I knew it was a risk, but I had to do it. I had always eaten good, so I'm making the assumption because with the thyroid, it's sensitive. So you want to avoid too many dangerous scans. So we can help you with all of those things, and we customize for everybody. We can get food here. Some of the rooms have their own kitchen, or we have the full kitchen. And most of these places that help, like Gearson, some of these places are $10,000 a week.
oh yes,
It's just
easily.
insane. And so I've lived through medical problems. I'm living with the cancer now. I don't like to claim it, but I also don't like
Right.
to be in denial because it doesn't scare me, and um, I think people need a community like you guys are all building a
Yes.
community. You need hope. And if you feel good enough, you can come along with us when we go help in the community. Sometimes that helps a lot.
Right.
Um, but just to unplug and be in nature and pray and just really um,
Yes.
focus on the healing. That's what I want to provide. Like I said, we're new and we haven't really done a lot of this, but I have the vision of what it can be. So
So did you
We're
think 20 years ago when you were doing your job and being in Minnesota and all that, that you would be at this place? And I'm asking that because God is so funny how he says, "Oh, you think you're going this way? No, I want you to go this way."
No, and I thought I was going to be in India. That was my plan. I have two of my daughters are adopted from India, and one is adopted from Guatemala. And my plan was to be in India. Now I was going to retire early, live in India. We have ministry over there. That was my heart. And I had like plan A, B, C, D, and E. You know, it's all planned out and when I'm
Yes,
going to retire, how it's going to work out. And it was just blown out of the water, everything to the point. At one point, I couldn't walk. Like when you talked about that in the book, I could drag my feet, but not walking. I was slurring my words. I had seizures, so I couldn't even counsel people online. I
yeah,
got down to like, I'm nobody. I'm nothing except a child of God. That's it. I'm nothing. I'm not even a good mom. I can do nothing. And that's where your book really touched me because it's like you when you get to that point where you realize that it's enough that you're just God's child and you build back from there, like
yes,
you never see life the same. And so when people say like, do you get upset that God hasn't healed you or that these things happen to you? I don't, because I'm here doing what I'm doing and you are doing what you're doing and you're on
yes,
the bestsellers list because of your experience. And we couldn't help the people we do if we didn't have the experiences that we did, right?
exactly. Yes,
So we can really customize trips for everybody. That's what we do best here. Is if someone is healthy and they just want to come explore the area or unplug, we can do that for you. We have chefs that can come and teach you how to make sushi. We just have a lot of fun, not so touristy things, but you can go swim
right.
with the turtles or the dolphins and you can do all those things too. But we call people up and say, what do you have in mind? What do you love to do? How can we make this special for you? But I really love the plan to help people when they're hurting because this would
Yes.
be the perfect place to do it. And I know what you need.
So how does someone decide, hey, I want to come there? Is there a website? Do they make a reservation? How does that all work?
Yes, it's we have a website that's still a little bit in the works. It needs a little more work, but it's junglelovemexico.com.
Okay.
We're also on Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it right now. We're not on TikTok yet, but
And what's your Instagram and Facebook?
that's also Jungle Love Mexico.
Okay.
Make sure you get the Mexico in there because just Jungle Love, it's totally different.
Okay. And then that's the same on
Jungle Love
Instagram?
Mexico. Yes, and then you can find me Julie of the Jungle, and it's dot Julie dot of dot the jungle.
Okay.
And I try to you can get a pretty good idea of what we have down here. I do a lot of the gardening, so I provide a lot of the juices and the foods from the garden here. And we've had the few people that have come since we opened are already booking for next winter. They love it. It's really
Oh,
unique. We've got monkeys around here, and
oh, wow.
it's just a really special place. So they
Sounds
can
like
go
it.
ahead and take a look at the website, and it's better to just message us instead of trying to book online because you can also mention Lynette and we'll give you a good deal or something, or just talk to me and we'll work with you. You know, if you need to stay longer, if you want to come for a month or something, we can work on pricing and
Okay.
we'll customize something with you. So it's better to look at it, make a decision, and then talk to us, and we'll customize everything for you, including the
Perfect.
price.
Thank you so much. And then I'll want you to message me the website again and how to find you because I want to tag all of that in the video when I upload it. So one of the questions that I ask people that I interview because of my followers either going through cancer or have went through cancer or have a loved one going through it, what would be some of your advice for them?
Well, as we said, I mean, first is number one. First thing I would say is not to fall into fear because you don't make the right decisions with that, and it's really not I think that they've developed it to be such a scary thing and that it shouldn't be. It's
Right.
immune dysfunction, and we can get through it sometimes easier than you realize. And secondly, for me, this should be the first. The most important is let God guide your plan. And if you don't have a relationship with God, it's a great time to get back on track with that. Because
Yes.
I have not, all of us are not going to even make the exact same decisions, nor should we. Everybody's very different and may have make different choices, and that should be something that they pray about. I tell people like what choices I'm making, but there are thousands of options, and
Yes.
it's really individual. It was almost overwhelming at first, and I just said, okay, I'm going to lay out all the options, I'm going to pray about it. But then I would get phone calls from people saying, I did this, and I really resonated with the stuff you were doing, so I kind of settled in on let's follow someone that it's working, and not to
Yes.
try to do, you don't need to do 100 things, you
Yes, and
that
that's what I
too
tell people
much.
too, that God's medicine should not break the bank. If you're spending
No.
hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month, that no, God
And in
created
fact,
medicine so easy and simple. Just and your body heals when it's at rest, so you can't do
right,
too much. Yeah,
exactly, because even the stress, the what stress does to your body is one of the worst things. It actually creates chemicals. It's not just cliche about the stress.
right,
You really just need to be at peace about it. You can always change the plan. I change it as I go. And you need to have purpose and a plan in life too. You don't need to stop living. You
right.
don't need to wait till you're healed to continue doing things. For me, the thing that helps me the most is helping other people, either
Yes,
through things physically or the people in our community. Just focusing on other people, it really takes my mind off it. And
yes,
so I think and then just connect with other people that are going through it or have been through it. That's to me been the best. I don't even really think about it a lot, honestly.
that's
I
good.
A lot of people don't even know because I kind of laugh. I went home to Minnesota last week and was, you look so great. And I'm like, thank you, because they don't even know.
Right.
And sometimes I don't need to even say because I'm healing.
Yes, and I just listened to a pastor this morning that talked about how powerful our thoughts are and our words are. And that
Mm.
if you're constantly thinking of the same thing, you're just manifesting more of it. And that's why I try and tell people, that's why I don't talk about cancer every single video because you're manifesting that. And for people that are going through cancer, and I tell them this, I said, I can't tell you what to do. But when every single one of your videos is about cancer and you're showing yourself going through treatment and infusion, you're living that, you're manifesting that.
Right.
You have to speak life, you have to speak healing. And you said something so important that just because you're going through this doesn't mean you have to stop living. Keep living, keep doing what you want to do. That is so important and it helps. And coming to a place like yours, like you said, the beach is my favorite place. And I tell everybody that God made the beach specifically for me because he knows that's my favorite place. So I'm excited about what you have down there, and I'm definitely going to come and visit. I
Yes, you
can't
gotta come.
wait to see that. Yes. So do
Yeah,
you
getting
have,
in nature it's a big thing. Getting in the water with the magnesium and just get away from all the. We do have Wi-Fi here. We don't have TV in most of the rooms. One does because
good,
our managers live there, but but it's best to just not use it. I have a nice library. Your book's in the library now, and
nice.
um, I'm bringing some yarn for anyone that wants to knit or crochet. I found that to really calm people, painting and gardening, and we have some bicycles here and swings. The best thing is the swings. Just be a kid again and just rest, because that is important. And bring your loved ones or whatever. It, you have to really, you can't be living the fast paced life. Like I said, don't think about it all the time, but you need to really need to change your lifestyle, I think,
Right.
permanently. I rest a lot more now. I don't feel guilty about taking naps. I can't live like I used to live. It's the way most people live is not healthy. And when
Exactly.
people come here, it's unbelievable. I forget. They come and they're just like frantic. And the first thing's like, what's the Wi-Fi? And they're all frantic and they take some days to calm down. And it's fun for us to watch as the days go on, and they'll sit around the bonfire at night, or we'll make pizza. We make
Yes.
healthy pizza. We can do gluten-free and veggies and
Yeah.
whatever. But just to enjoy time together and watch people actually just having conversations and relaxing and just seeing them come into a better
Yes.
place, it's beautiful, really.
And that's the way it should be. So
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I wanted to ask you this earlier. So where you're located, give me an idea. I'm here in California. Where in
Okay.
Mexico are you?
Okay, so you would fly into Cancun most likely. Now Tulum Airport is also open, and we're about an hour south of the Cancun Airport drive,
Okay.
right between exactly halfway between Playa del Carmen and Tulum, which is fun because you can go visit either city if you want as well. And there's a city in the middle that we're very close to, which is called Akumal, where you can swim with the turtles. But we're just on the we're in a little jungle community. There are some neighbors here. It's just a little gated jungle community, and just like 10 minutes from Akumal. So there's some nice restaurants and places that are nearby, but we're just kind
Wow.
of in the middle. So
Nice.
we can arrange to pick you up, and we can arrange for everything. We can arrange for you to go on tours or whatever you'd like to do. There's also like too much to do that we work people through that too, deciding what you want to do each trip. So even if people like adventure, you can come do adventure as well. But I really think what's special about it is that you can do nothing. Land.
I was gonna say that. No, I would
You
be one
can
of
do
those
that.
people. Just
Yeah,
set me on the beach and leave me alone. I'm
right. And
good.
there's a lot of beach clubs nearby. So we're not right on the beach, but 5 minutes away, we go places where they have a nice little breakfast, and then you can spend the whole day at the beach. There's a variety of different types. So you have a different style of beach. We're 5 minutes from many places to go
Nice.
to the beach.
Julie, thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate it. It was so much fun talking to you. And I can't wait to connect with you and see where you're going with this journey. And I can't wait to hear your healing story because I know that's coming.
Yes, and you're welcome here. And I put a review on your book, and I want to encourage everyone
Thank
to read that.
you.
Loved it. I listened to it because I love audiobooks. And the end part on the way home, I was in the airplane and I was smiling, and my husband said, "What are you doing?" Because I had a big grin on my face. I'm like, she stopped taking her medicine, didn't tell anyone. He's like, "Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool." So
Yeah.
I just loved it. Everybody needs to read your book because it's not just about cancer. It's about any struggle, and it's something everybody needs to read it or listen to it. It was so inspiring. I loved it. So congratulations to you. You
Thank
did a
you
great
so
job.
much. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Okay, nice to talk to you. Blessings.